What? We're going to start now?
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Heyo, it's OmniBros Live on a Thursday night. And here we are, the fabulous three handsomest guys on the planet. That's right. I'm calling myself handsome, and there's not a thing you can do about it. I'm Omnidog, joined by the Omnibus Collector himself. Hey, Omni.
What's up?
And Geo, the handsomest guy, at least in Puerto Rico.
Damn straight. How you doing, everybody? Happy to be here.
And you'll recognize these two from last week as the losers of real manga, fake manga.
I had to bring it up.
Yes, I did. I just saw the look on Riley's face, and I've got to go back and screen cap it. It was great. Yeah, there it is.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't lose. I just let you win.
Oh, that is a bunch of bullshit. So, since we're here, it's probably time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's upcoming, at the end of the month, a $50 gift card to be given away. We're going to be doing it this coming Monday. $50 given to us by ISD. Give to a lucky viewer out there like you. $50 or more in an order in the United States gets you free shipping, which came in handy this week because there are a couple of big Omnis that people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
And someone was hustling with those Omnis this week too, because I noticed my order already is done. Actually, my last two, my Batgirl order was shipped like the same day.
Really? Let me check mine, Mr. Special Treatment.
That's my personal favorite Batgirl run. I love it.
Gail Simone's?
Yeah.
I don't think I've read any of it, and it was something I was on the fence about buying. But if it makes you feel good, Gio, I bought it because I knew that it was your favorite. But honestly, the reason I went ahead and bought it was I was like, well, I have been buying all the other like post-crisis Batman collections and like related Omnis, and I plan on continuing to do that. So, you know, I have all of them except for like all the New 52 era ones except for Red Hood, because I really just don't
knew you were going to say that.
But yeah, like I plan on getting Batwing when it comes out, so I'm like, all right, I got Batgirl, I got Batman, I got Nightwing, I got Batman and Robin, I'll have Batwing. So it would have felt weird to not have Batgirl with that.
So you're not going to get Red Hood?
No, and I think that one's not available. Like, I think it's out of print at this point.
I can't believe that's out of print.
I can't believe it got printed.
Like, one of the main things though being there, I don't think there's going to be a second volume. So it would take way more than 2 volumes, because there's, as far as what it was Lobdell that wrote it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As far as Lobdell's material, there would probably be like 4 to 5 books worth, because he wrote like that entire series plus the follow-up with the Red Hood and Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And then he wrote the Rebirth series for what, 50 issues?
It was good for 3 trade paperbacks. The first 3 trades were good.
And then, well, I know it turned from Red Hood and the Outlaws to Red Hood Outlaw at some point, and then he wrote that until like issue 50, and now it's been taken over by someone else. And I tried to read 1 issue, and then I just like didn't.
Didn't.
Yeah. So Red Hood's the only one that I'm not getting, but I've never read any of this. I've not really read much solo Batgirl, but yeah. Point being though, what we were saying was that this pretty much shipped the next day, and with the UPS shipping, it wound up coming in by the end of the week. And then my order of Swamp Thing and Inferno have both either, I don't know if they've shipped yet, but they're both picked. I know that. I was like, damn, someone's hustling over there.
Let me see what's going on with mine.
You got Toothy Swamp Thing, those pearly whites.
Nothing has been picked on mine. You suck, Ryley.
Hey, well, my order from 2 weeks ago hasn't been picked, so
Okay, I have 5 open orders, okay? But I'm not complaining. I got plenty. I still haven't put this disaster away.
Whoa, look at that. Love it.
I'm not going to say nothing. I just have random stuff that I've had out like around the room because I've been, and this is what I told Jess before, and I don't know if Jess shared with the rest of the guys because I'm not on the chats right now, but that I wanted to talk about, like, I've been playing with TikTok and making TikToks and stuff. I don't know how many people are actually watching right now who are going to laugh at me for playing around on the little dancing app, but it's been really funny. And I started by just making a video of like my X-Men Legends figures. And I don't know if y'all remember like the days before I decided to take a hiatus from social media, which I guess TikTok is social media. So it's really just a hiatus from Facebook.
Facebook,
I made the video where I like had pushed the Uncanny X-Men 4 into my shelf. And I was doing the theme song to the X-Men, but I did it like with a funny voice. So like, nya, 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 nya. And so I did that, and I put it on a video of me walking around my X-Men shelf, and I did the whole song, and it like almost immediately, I don't want to say it went viral, but it did almost immediately. It started just making the rounds. And yeah, it's got 13,300 views.
Damn.
Wow.
With 2,200 likes and 200 comments. And a lot of people saying like, "Oh my God, I love this rendition of the." Here, let me I'm gonna turn up the volume on my phone so that you guys can hear it.
Somebody was asking about the shirt.
Yeah. Oh, and that's going to come up too. That's the other reason why I've mentioned to you, Gio, that your shirt was appropriate for the show, is because that's going to come up in a second. But I turn up the volume so you can hear. So
I love that part at the end part. That was awesome.
13,000 views.
13,300 people, or one person 13,000 times have looked at that video. And a lot of people were like, you know, saying, "Oh my God, this is hilarious." A lot of people said it sounded like Peter Griffin doing the X-Men song. And I was like, no. My wife thinks it sounds like Cartman. And I know that Hayden, I don't know if Hayden is watching right now, but he was the one that pointed out that it sounded more like Joey Wheeler from the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. He's like, "I recognize that anywhere." Which I think that's closer to what it sounds like. But yeah, so that happened. And like, people throw out follows like it's nothing on here.
Dude, that app is crazy. I have an account just for lurking. Yeah, and that is the best social media app right now. It's so crazy in there.
They're like, I posted that, and I don't remember how many I got like in the first day, but it was like almost immediately like 100 something followers.
Yeah, you need to monetize that, somebody said.
I'm right now, I don't know that I can monetize yet. I don't know how big you have to be able to monetize, but right now I'm at 390 followers. And I've only really been doing stuff for like 2 days. Like this week is the first week that I've actually been posting things on there. And it's like, it's funny because, and here's like one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is it's like the Wild West of, or not the Wild West. It's like, what did I say? I texted Omar because I was like, dude, it's like I'm the first man on the moon. Like I went in there and I started posting like, because someone in that video said, oh, the Beast was gray. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, let me toss some knowledge out to you. And that's what I told my wife, because she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I got to lay some knowledge down on these guys. And so I made a video where I explained the Beast, and you know, I talked about Hank McCoy, and that in this issue that he did this experiment and it goes wrong and it makes him into this furry gray dude, and he's gray for a little bit, and then because of the way that colors and stuff worked in the comics with the 4-color and all that stuff and limitations, it wound up looking more blue, and so they decided to just make him blue and all that. And you only get a minute at the max to say this stuff, so you have to really, it's hard for someone like
that's why you were so fast in that video I was watching of you. Oh,
so you have to talk fast, and for someone like me who likes to talk, it's hard like to get all that in there. So I'm really pushing myself to like limit the words that I'm saying. And that video with the Beast then took off as well. And that one, none of the others are as big, but that one has almost 10,000 views. Just me talking about the Beast turning gray briefly. And then I posted something else that only has a few hundred, just of my X-Men shelf. And then someone mentioned, like, who do you think is the strongest X-Men or strongest mutant? And I did a video about Franklin Richards. I had something about I don't know if you guys had watched Falcon and Winter Soldier yet, but kind of a non-spoiler spoiler, like not plot spoily stuff. There was just a throwaway comment that a character tells to Sam about people thinking that Steve Rogers is on a secret base on the moon. And so I made a video talking about how I believe that's a reference to Original Sin, where Nick Fury was on a secret base on the moon, and then showed that, like, you know, what his role was, that he was the man on the wall, and that now he's taking over as the Unseen for the Watcher, and that taking over as the new man on the wall is Bucky Barnes. And so that got 8,000 views now. And then a bunch of people are just asking, like they'll just go on there and be like, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? And it's like, but the people, I kind of got carried away, but with the Beast video, the reason I highlighted that one, I pulled out one of the Omnis. I pulled out the Silver Age Volume 2, because I don't have Volume 1, but I pulled out Silver Age Volume 2 and I showed like the cover, and I said, you know, this is what he used to look like when he didn't have fur. And, you know, this is the series went on hiatus after 66. And during the time that it was on hiatus, the characters were here, and here. And it wasn't until Amazing Adventures 11, I think it was, whenever Jerry Conway starts writing the story where he turns into the Gray Beast. And people were like, what is that? Like, what is that textbook that you just like pulled out? And I was like, these people don't know, like, what, like there is not an omnibus collector community on TikTok.
What's the demographic of TikTok about?
If you go on there, there's so many people from all over. Like, it started as something that was mostly just like younger kids, but I feel like a lot of people have got on there during since the whole pandemic has started. And now you'll find people who are like really young, people who are around my age, people who are older, people who are like actually really old. Like,
how old was that?
Like, one dude, I was just flipping through, and it gave me a TikTok. I guess the guy had actually died, and so it was his grandson talking about, you know, rest in peace, Grandpa, you're great, and playing little clips from his channel. And he gave the years, and it was he was 80 years old. So
all right, that's okay. That's
yeah,
old.
I'm saying actual old, Jess, not like we're pulling your chain old, but like people from all over, people from all demographics and stuff. And I'm learning now people with interests in everything, and like there's different corners of it, and it's weirdly intuitive as well, because like you can like talk, like I will talk about something and all of a sudden I'll start getting TikToks about that thing. I won't text about it, I won't do anything, I'll just talk about it like
for a minute.
Yeah, like I'll talk about like, oh, I love dogs, and then all of a sudden I'll start getting more dog videos. So it's like creepy intuitive. So anyway, I'm like slowly pushing into like comic talk, because they call everything blank talk. And
for the TOK part.
Yeah. So like they have like, you know, comic talk or like TV talk or movie talk or anime talk, manga talk. There was one, and it was a video of someone like killing a tick that had gotten on their dog, and people were commenting on it like, I finally found my way to TikTok. And I was like, you clever. Anyway, but in Comic Talk, there's no one that collects the stuff that we collect, at least as far as I've seen. And I know there's billions of users, but like, and I haven't seen every single video or every single user, but as far as the stuff that it's suggesting for me, there's not like an omnibus collecting community. And it's so weird because having been involved in this community for as long as I've been, there's always been an audience for it. There's always been a community. When I started over on Tumblr, there was people on there. When I, started the YouTube, there's people on YouTube, obviously. And then over on Facebook, we have tons of people on Facebook, tons of groups on Facebook. There's always been the communities. And on Instagram, everyone's got an Instagram and everyone posts the stuff. The hashtag Omnibus Collector is a hashtag that's used on Instagram. I went on here. The hashtag for Omnibus doesn't have anything. Like the hashtag. It's not, there's not really anything there. And like I said to Omar, I said, dude, I feel like the first man on the moon. These people, they don't know what, like literally the questions were stuff like, what is that? Like, what is that book?
Look at the chat. They're saying it's an untapped market. You got a golden opportunity here, man.
And so I've been like,
here's the worst idea ever.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
No, that's not happening ever.
But I've been mining it. I've been this entire week, and I've been telling my wife too. I was like, dude, I did this, and like these people do this, and I did this, and blah blah blah. And most of the things I post are not getting like nearly as many of the views. It's just a few hundred here and there, which like a few hundred is a drop in the bucket for a lot of these videos that you'll see that have like millions of views. But it's interesting. Like, it's interesting to see the comments and stuff. And another thing you can do is like make video replies directly to people's comments. And so I've been kind of like chaining videos by doing that. And so with people asking like, what are those books? How do I start reading? How do I do this? Do you have any DC books was one, because I kept showing Marvel stuff. And I was like, yeah. And I showed all my DC, and they're like, oh my God. And these people are like, this is the biggest thing they've ever seen. Like these collections. My collection.
When is IST shipping my order?
Yeah, I'll answer that one on here too. You just got to make an account. And then I'll make a video, and people will be like, I don't know what IST is. What is this guy talking about? But they, like, I'm trying to go through. I'm going to turn down the volume so I can just kind of say, like, this is how you know how different the breadth of the community, when I say community, it's just me, is on this app compared to anywhere else. Is someone asked, where can I buy this book about the X-Men Silver Age Omnibus Volume 2? And I have to tell them, like, unfortunately, this book in particular is extremely hard to find for a good price. If you go on eBay, it's going to be hundreds of dollars. Like that's like, for our community, everyone knows that's a whale. That's something that you can't get easily. But these people, they don't know what these books are.
You highlight NFL dude at 828. Ryley bringing Omnis on TikTok is like the first guy that started a video game Let's Play.
It's like
pretty much.
Yeah, it's like people doing Minecraft Let's Plays and Fortnite Let's Plays, except it's like not nearly as exciting because it's just a fat book. But they don't know what these things are. It's crazy. Like it's so weird having been like immersed in this community that we're in the center of for however many years, and then all of a sudden you take a step to the left and there's like no one knows what you're doing, and no one knows what you're talking about. So anyway, I've tried to not only make the videos about the comics, because if I want to gain any traction on here, and I'm trying to gain traction and tell people like go to my Facebook or go to my my YouTube, and it's been working. But if I want to gain the traction on there, then I have to start appealing to the more commonly popular stuff. So a video popped up, and this is the one that I showed Jess, and this is why your shirt is appropriate for tonight. And this is something I wanted to bring up so then I can ask Jess about his opinion on this And also, so the people on TikTok were at my throat about this. So I don't know if the people watching us now are also going to be like, that's a stupid idea, Ryley. You're a dumbass. But the Flash is really popular on TikTok, and Quicksilver is like extremely popular on TikTok. So if you tag anything Quicksilver, you'll have like all these names will pop up with like Ralph Boner and all that stuff, and like pictures of Quicksilver from WandaVision and stuff like that. It'll be like, you know, Ralph Boner liked your video, Quicksilver 6969 liked your, like tons of them. So that's like just bait right there. And so there was a video that popped up, and it was this guy talking about how Marvel and DC fans bicker, and they're like, you know, Marvel's better because this and DC's better because this. And at the beginning of the video, the guy said, like, one person says, like, you know, the Avengers would beat the Justice League, and the other guy goes, well, is that why the Flash is so much faster than Quicksilver? And so I stitched, you can like attach your video to someone else's video. So I stitched a video onto that video. And I said, and this is what I showed Jess, and this is what I'm putting out there is my idea. What an idea that I've had for like, God, 15 years. I
thought you were gonna play it.
Oh, I mean, I can play it.
No. You can explain it, but then I'll highlight you when you do it.
So the idea that I've had for about 15 years is if the Flash is the fastest character. You know, I'm not saying that the Flash is faster than Quicksilver. Quicksilver's top speed is, I think, is the speed of sound, and the Flash has just constantly, writers are constantly pushing him to be faster.
Yeah,
he's surpassed like speed of light, and obviously, you know, the Flash is so fast that his molecules can move through solid objects, and he can travel through time. And Pietro has traveled through time whenever he had the Terrigen Mist and stuff during Son of M. And, but so I said the Flash is faster than Quicksilver, bar none. Not debating that at all. However, if the two characters were to race, basically, I said that I believe Quicksilver would win. Because and there is evidence of at least one of these two, if they raced in the Marvel universe, the Flash can't access the Speed Force. So Quicksilver would be faster. And that's the one that's proven. I hypothesize, this is the one where it would just be like, if I was to write this story, this is how I would decide that it plays out, unless there is some specific comic book mechanic that I'm just not aware of. And this is where I don't know if Jess and his knowledge of Silver Age stories where the Flash becomes fat and turns into a wooden doll would help to dispel this. In the DC universe, I said, and I have said this for like 15 years, that Quicksilver, since his abilities are genetic, they're not inherited from anything that is a product of the Marvel universe. They're just part of his genetics. That's why he would win in the Marvel universe, because he's faster inherently than the Flash is without the Speed Force. But if Quicksilver was to go to the DC universe and was able to tap into the Speed Force, that because he is faster genetically, he could potentially be faster than the Flash in the DC universe. And that's where people just exploded. And we're like,
are you going to play your TikTok video? Because people need to see it.
I'll play it. Yeah. You can see what I mean about, like, you have to talk fast.
Yeah.
Because you only get a minute, which when you play it, it sounds like a long time.
I've had some thoughts about the Flash versus Quicksilver debate for quite a while. Just some fun thoughts that I wanted to throw out there. Without a doubt, any Flash is inherently infinite times faster than Quicksilver has ever shown himself to be. Even during the Son of M storyline, when Quicksilver exposed himself to the Terrigen Mist to increase his speed after he had lost his abilities after decimation, he still is not nearly as fast as the Flash has ever shown himself to be. But while the Flash's powers, no matter which Flash you're looking at, are always connected to the Speed Force, which only exists in the DC multiverse, Quicksilver's powers are part of his biology, whether he's a mutant or a mutate in the story you're reading. So if the two were to race, They would have to be in separate universes in order for the Flash to be faster. Because if they were to race in the DC universe, then Quicksilver would be able to tap into the Speed Force, and with his natural abilities would be faster than the Flash. But if racing in the Marvel universe, Quicksilver still has his abilities, but there is no Speed Force for Flash.
So that brought a lot of people. A lot of people were like, "That's a really interesting idea," but then there were a lot of people who were like, "You're stupid," and I was like, and I was like, look, a lot of y'all obviously have not read Kurt Busiek's JLA Avengers, where we do see that Flash can tap into the Speed Force, if I'm not mistaken. But I know we do see him, Quicksilver can tap into the Speed Force, but we do see Quicksilver beat the Flash in the Marvel Universe because the Flash doesn't have the Speed Force. And I don't know how many times I've had to comment that. Like, I just making a comment against someone else's comment saying, it happened 2003, JLA Avengers, he beat him. Like, someone else even pulled out one of the other crossovers, like one of the previous from 1996, and they were like, well, in this one, and I'm like, look, buddy,
Well, actually,
JLA Avengers,
Actually,
yeah, you don't get to actually me. I am the actually guy. Actually, that's not canon. But JLA Avengers is considered canon in both universes. JLA Avengers, there is an element from that storyline that is mentioned in Trinity in the DC universe. And JLA Avengers, the entire event is outlined, is part of the handbook, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. So they consider it to be canon. Whether or not, you know, the characters know what the fuck happened, that's another thing. But that's all I need. And so I made a follow-up video where I said that, where I was like, this is the storyline. This is what happens. It's considered canon. You can't take this from me. And then someone else is like, well, what about Jay Garrick? Like, he was around before. And I was like, yeah, Jay Garrick's from the Golden Age, and that's before the Speed Force was around. But actually, Jay Garrick's top speed is the same as Quicksilver's top speed. So at the most, they would tie in a race. Like, Jay Garrick without the Speed Force can travel the speed of sound. So that was like the little debate that I had. But this one took off. Like, it doesn't have as many views. It only has a little less than 10,000. But when I say it took off, like, when I posted that video, I went off for about an hour to go do something. And when I when I looked at my phone, my notifications were just off the wall. I was like, what the hell? And I clicked on it, and I had already gotten like 7,000 views. What the shit?
hour?
Yeah. I was like, what the shit happened here? Just took off immediately. And it was all those people like getting all upset. How dare you consider that? And here's the thing. So many of these people, like, they're saying things where I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, because they're trying to give their evidence, like, Barry Allen would be faster because of what? And I'm like, what are you talking? And then someone else came in and was like, LMAO, all these people trying to pull like proof from the CW show when you got like a wall of comics behind you. And I started laughing, and I said, like, that's funny. Like, I said in response, I was very confused by some of these comments because I don't watch the shows.
Now, would the mutiny, just as the Speed Force, this is actually the only argument I have, because of the Kurt Busiek race, does as the Speed Force doesn't exist in Marvel, when he crosses over, the mutant gene doesn't exist in the DC universe.
That
you don't have a
would
mutant.
be interesting. Because I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like, because what other when was the Green Lantern able to use his powers, even if like Oa, like the power battery on Oa is not in the Marvel universe? Because I don't remember some of these things.
The DC universe?
Like, if the Green Lantern, I don't remember if in JLA Avengers, if Green Lantern was part of, like, in the Marvel universe and was able to use his abilities. I think it would have been Kyle at that time.
We're back. that's my only question is does the genetic DNA component exist in the DC universe? I think the real question is, how does Superman think he's as fast as Flash if Superman can't tap into the Speed Force?
Someone mentioned that because like a lot of the comments that popped up were like, just because you're fast doesn't mean you can tap into the Speed Force. And I'm like, I'm not saying that, but in the story he did. Like, I'm not using
Superman tap into the Speed Force?
I don't think so, because that was one of the things that got brought up. They were like, well, Superman is fast, but he's not able to.
I'd like to say I took this conversation even nerdier by saying that Superman can't tap into the Speed Force. So Flash is faster than Superman. So I'd like a little credit.
Well, the Flash,
a little bit nerdier.
I think
you need to get on TikTok, man.
Yeah, you're going to have to jump on. We're going to go back and forth stitching each other's videos, and you're going to be like, listen, kid, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been reading comics since your dad was in diapers, and back in
my day,
back when Barry Allen was the only Flash.
That's right. Reverse Flash was the same as Professor Zoom and all these other things. And Gorilla.
And now there's like a million, and I think this is one of the CW things that like tripped me up, was people saying something like the people that tap into the Speed Force are all just different versions of Barry Allen. And I was like, what? And some like immediately there was comments that were like, I mean, and just listing like every speedster, like none of these people are Barry Allen. What are you freaking talking about? Someone legitimately, one of the comments, this guy says, except for CW Flash because, and I don't have to read the rest of the comment because I'm like, I'm not talking about the CW Flash.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like I'm talking about comics. I put hashtag comics, not hashtag CW.
Boom.
Come on, guys.
Come on,
but
get your stuff together.
Ultimately, I said in one of the responses, I said like, ultimately it's up to the creator who's writing it. Like if they decide that Quicksilver would be able to A, tap into the Speed Force, and B, if he tapped in, if he would be faster or not than whatever Flash or all Flashes. I don't know. It would ultimately be up to the creator. And if that was me, that's how I would do it. Because in my head, my stupid mind, that's the way that it works. I'm like, you know, Barry Allen was not already fast. Quicksilver already be fast. So fast plus more fast equals even faster than no fast plus fast is basically like, that's the equation that I have.
Now we're getting into math. Holy crap.
Well, what's the Speed Force formula? There's like an equation.
Carly,
Jess,
I had to download TikTok so I could watch Riley's video.
Oh, I didn't know you have to have it to watch I thought it just sent it as a link.
No, you can watch it on your browser. You don't have to download the app.
Well, I downloaded it so I could watch it. Now I'm getting rid of it.
I will say this. TikTok is great because you can have content like what Riley's talking about. And then there are people that don't know how to use the app. Older folk that start saying like, oh, I'd love you because of this and that. And they don't know that they're not sending a personal message like you would on Instagram, for example. And they're just airing everything out for everybody to hear on TikTok. And that makes it even funnier because they don't know how to use the app. So they end up talking about like love confessions, political rants. It goes all over the place. It's amazing. I love that app. You'll never find me there because I don't even know the account I made, but I'm on there somewhere. I just lurk.
I was lurking for a while. Actually, for a long time, I just watched it like over my wife's shoulder because she would scroll through and have all these jokes and stuff. And she's like, man, this shit's funny. And then I downloaded it and like I've been using it more since I've been away from Facebook, which is obviously I'm failing my desire to get away from social media, but it's something completely different. And it started like, it thought So I didn't use it for a long time is the point. And so every time I would get on it, like the videos it would show me were not like geared towards me because the app wasn't picking up like my ideas and like what I like and stuff. However, because of what we do at home and it listening to us at home, it thought that I was Mexican. And it started giving me a lot of Hispanic TikToks.
Wait,
because it was listening to us at home, like talking to each other, it thought that I was Mexican. And it gave me a lot of like very specific, like, you know, this is, you know, what you do like when you grow up Mexican and like that kind of stuff. And it was like, but I wish I could find them. But like now that I've been posting stuff, it gets me a little bit better. But it was hilarious. Like I was sharing these things with my brother-in-law and my sister, and I was like, dude, this shit's fucking funny. Like all the Mexican TikToks. I was like, number one, it's funny because it thinks I'm Mexican. Literally half of them are in Spanish, half of them are in English, but like about Hispanic families. And the half they're in Spanish, I understand. And so I'm laughing along with it, like watching it in Spanish. And my wife is like, what are you watching? And I was like, I remember when I noticed it, like I was going through, I was just scrolling and we'd watch the movie Blood In, Blood Out, because apparently that was like her family's, like everyone watches that movie. And she couldn't believe that I'd never seen it. I was like, seen it? I never heard of it. And so like we watched that and everyone's, you know, talking in that one in Spanish and like talking like South California, like carnal and stuff like that. And so like I'm getting TikToks now, and I was on there one night and like all of a sudden one of the actors that plays like one of the main characters in that movie is on there and he's on my feed. And I was like, what the shit? And I showed her and I sent it to her brother and I was like, dude, it thinks that I'm Mexican. And I sent it to him and I was like, carnal, it thinks I'm Mexican. So
Mr. Awesome has a good point, by the way, at the last comment. That's a reference for you kids out there.
Yeah. God, but it was funny. But now it gets a little bit more, and it's I get that every once in a while, but I miss it so much because those were the best. Like it was a bunch of like snacks and stuff. Like they'd be making snacks, and I'm like, shit, I want to eat that. And then like a bunch of them would just be funny, like stuff that's very similar to, not as much about me growing up because my family was from Chile, so that was where all my cousins, like it was very different from that culture, but my wife's family, so the things that I see from all of her family is very similar with the stuff that the jokes were playing. But now I get a bunch of stuff about manga and anime and comics and the Flash and all that, and I get angry people telling me, they're telling me that I'm wrong.
Who? The CW show? Because that makes me mad.
People are friggin' telling me that. Oh, I don't know if Cactus Jack 603 is someone that's in the chat right now, but Cactus Jack 603 just followed me and said, didn't know you were on TikTok. Love your vids. Been a YouTube subscriber for a while. You're the reason I collect omnis and manga. So now there's two of us, two omnibus collectors on TikTok. We're gonna take over. I think my idea though about the Flash versus Quicksilver is pretty clever. It's not perfect, but it's just something that like I thought up when I was like, you know, first starting to really get into reading stuff. And it's fun, you know. It's like one of those Superman versus Goku arguments.
Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry.
You can have, and the correct answer for that, in case anyone wants to fight me, is Goku would win because when Goku's dead, he's still alive and he can still kick your ass. Like that's my 100% evidence is how many times has Goku like been the entire Buu saga? He had a halo. Like he doesn't have to be alive. Superman could kill Goku. He wouldn't because it's Superman. But let's say that Superman was like not very nice, and it was like Injustice Superman. Superman is like and just cracks Goku's neck. Goku would go, and then King Kai would be like, "Hey, bud, go back. You need to protect the Earth." And Goku would be like, cool. I just wanted to give him a chance to see how strong he was. And then he would keep fighting. And he could die another death and still somehow come back. But when he'd come back, he'd be stronger because that's just how it's how he's written. And it comes down to the same thing that I said about the Flash versus Quicksilver. It's whoever's writing it. But it's just the way that like Goku is written. Both of them can come back to life, obviously. But Goku doesn't even have to be alive to fight. He's so broken. Like the power
say that they're both good guys and they'll get along.
Yeah, they obviously if it was normal Superman and normal Goku, they'd like fight together.
Yeah.
Like, why are we trying to fight? And they just like fist bump and then
they would make it a competition between the two of them.
It'd be like Legolas and Gimli like taking out orcs and stuff. Or it'd be I would love to see like them fight side by side and then Clark be like, you know, you're a really cool guy, Mr. Goku. How about you join me? My ma is making dinner. And then like you'd see Goku go to hang out with Ma and Pa Kent and like just eat a ton of food. And they'd be like, holy crap, this guy can eat. That's my thought on that. Flash versus Quicksilver though, Quicksilver's an asshole. So like I think literally in one of those crossover storylines, like Quicksilver plays dirty to try and like beat the Flash.
Yeah,
he's just a dick. But
I zoned out for a sec. When we were talking about
people are asking for me to make TikTok videos. I'm not funny. I can't do that stuff. That's not in my blood. So
I'm not trying to. Well, I guess that one was funny with my but like
that was great.
Someone asked me about Animal Man. I was so like, what? You asked me about Animal Man?
Keep at it, man. I mean, it's an untapped market.
But I've been telling people. I've been posting like on one of the videos. I put like a link. I put a link to on my thing. I put up a video whenever I loaded a video onto my channel. I said, hey, you know, you've subscribed to me recently or you started following me. Check out my channel. I just put a video up. And I can't I can't tell exactly where they're coming from, but my analytics on YouTube went up from a last 28 days subscriber change of 1.6 thousand to 1.8 thousand over the past couple days. So like it bumped up. So there's definitely like a new audience, and it could not have anything to do with that. It could be people just finding. It could just be the algorithm working in my favor again, but it's a coincidence. And so that when I started doing that, I told my wife because I don't want my wife to think I'm wasting time doing this stuff. And I need to monetize because I have to pay the bills, you know. I don't see like, and just to be clear, like anytime, like when I get paid from YouTube, I don't see that money. It's not like I get to buy more books like that goes towards food, that goes towards mortgage and stuff like that. But I'm like, shit, man, I gotta push more people over there so that I can start paying bills more. Yep. So hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping to bring like basically another, and I told my wife, I was like, as I do with my channel and everything, like my, as I do on my channel, my main goal is just to like, to inform as well as entertain. That's what I just want to help people to understand stuff and to know things. And that's what I want to bring to that app if I continue to make content on there. I just want to help inform people that I have stupid ideas apparently about Quicksilver possibly being faster than the Flash.
Nobody said it was stupid, except for those people on TikTok.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Jess, I wanted to ask you because I don't know if you know anything about like, if you know anything more than I would about the possibilities, and you did bring up like, you know, if similar to the Speed Force not existing in the Marvel universe, if like the mutant gene doesn't exist in the DC universe, what does it take for a speedster? If anyone, either of you guys, or anyone in the comments, how does a speedster get the ability? How does anyone get the ability to tap into the Speed Force? Because it feels like it just, if you're fast, you can, or if you can, then you're fast.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that the Speed Force is a relatively new concept that was invented by Jeff Johns, and it didn't exist in the Silver Age. So I'm still getting up to speed, so to speak, on the Speed Force. My understanding of the speed. Wait a sec. Now I have in stock trades up. Well, my understanding was that, like, Barry Allen carried the Speed Force within him, and it like dispersed to those other members that could. I'm not good at. I can't explain the Speed Force. Oh, it's Wade. Okay, Wade invented the Speed Force. I thought it was Jeff Johns. Okay, so yeah, I
So during Mark Wade's run on the Wally West Flash.
Yeah, so that's when it was invented, and so I haven't even read that. So
yeah, you can tell that, like, that stack right there, those red books, I haven't read those yet. That's the Wade volumes up there.
There's 45 comments in here that say Wade, so I'm going to have to say, actually, it's Mark Wade.
That I figured it wasn't. When you said Johns, I was surprised, but I was like, I don't remember him, because I remember the Speed Force being a factor of his Wally West run,
right?
But I didn't remember him like introducing it. I remember it just already being there. So that makes sense.
It's like an extra dimension that they tap into.
But I'm just, because I didn't have a good rebuttal and I couldn't find any information about like why someone can and why someone can't tap in. And I don't know if it, like, because especially like newer storylines in like Rebirth and stuff, they introduced like 3 or 4 new speedsters, like just one after another.
Yeah,
it's almost like there's there's like an unlimited amount of speedsters in the it's like versions of Wolverine now. Like there's just so many of them. So they have like what Godspeed and the girl that showed up that I don't remember her name, and then like
Just Quick or Liberty Bell.
No, it was a newer one that they introduced. I think it was I'm thinking of the Flash in the Justice League of China.
I haven't read that all, so I don't know.
So
yeah, sorry, I'm not an expert on the Speed Force.
What great help you've been.
It didn't exist in the Silver Age.
So Barry's powers originally, there was like lightning and a bunch of chemicals
right
flashed on him. Mm-hmm. So his abilities before the Speed Force was introduced was he was a metahuman because of these chemicals, because of the storm and stuff. So, and
then they tried to retcon it. This was the first time I had ever seen it in the Silver Age, where they tried to retcon it within the Julius Schwartz era with Infantino and John Broome and Kanigher all on it, with this character Mopey from another dimension. They said that he created the lightning that created the Flash on purpose. And if the internet had been alive back then, it would have been a huge disaster, because even as a little kid, it felt fake and it felt wrong. And I grew up finding out that everybody hated Mopey and the idea that Mopey is the one that created Flash. It was a complete retcon on par with Deadly Genesis. So that's yeah, and I can't remember how Jay Garrick got his. He was like I can't remember how Jay Garrick got his. He had some sort of similar accident, or something to do with a Greek god or something.
Something with Mercury.
Earth to Flash speed is from the Greek god like Shazam. And that's Jay, so I don't know.
I got you. I'm gonna use good old Wikipedia, like
Okay.
a lot of people do.
Like
He
God intended.
accidentally inhaled hard water vapors
Oh,
after
that
taking a smoke break in his lab where he had been working. And as a result, he finds that he can run at superhuman speeds.
right.
So
Okay.
he was doing
Hard
the
water
vaping,
vapors.
basically vaping.
Yes, he was vaping. So vaping makes you run fast.
In your mind, kids, not in real life. By the way, there was a question earlier.
There's been a bunch of real questions.
Yeah, there was a bunch of questions. I'm trying to
Just
get
ignoring them all to talk about.
TikTok and Flash. Endman, Jess, do you think Losh 5 years later, Volume 2 will be released early 2022? I was hoping would be one of the volumes that was announced the other day. It seems late 2021 is filled with Volume 2s. What do you think?
It probably depends on sales, I would guess. So I don't know how well Losh 1 sold. I'm not the biggest fan of that particular era, even though I got it. I got it because I love the Legion of Superheroes, but that's not my favorite era. So I don't know how it sold. Don't come to me for answers to any questions tonight. Let's make real manga fake manga. I'm better than that.
Well, next Imaginaut says, at me, Geo, in case you missed it, Last Gasp is finally releasing an English translation of Keiichi Koike's Ultra Heaven later this year and a collection of his shorts in July. I did not know that. That is awesome. I'm going to check that out.
Okay, good.
Let's see if I missed any other. At the Omnibus Collectors.
I think N-Man 40 had a few real questions.
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance? I can't read. Do you think there's any chance IST and or CGN will restock the Claremont and Lee X-Men Volume 2 standard cover and Inferno Omni anytime soon? That Inferno cover sold out in 30 minutes and immediately went to special order on that other site, which together would indicate to me that both stores got shorted on it. I had no idea.
That was at near the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that it'll be, but
didn't that ship out already out of stock, out of print?
Inferno shipped already out of print, right?
Yeah.
It was already unavailable from Diamond. But keep in mind that the cover that I feel like most people want because they'd rather have the boobies on the front is the standard. And
right.
Once it hits the book market, that's going to be available there. So if you missed out on that cover, just pay attention to like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I know it's going to be more expensive, but if you are absolutely against having the superior non-booby cover, like I bought, then, and I bought it purposefully because I don't want to have to like have my wife like, why are you buying some like XXX-Men book?
Triple X-Men coming soon.
With Vin Diesel. Wasn't he in the movie Triple X?
I can't scroll back past 8:30.
But yeah, I would just say that I don't think that there's going to be additional copies. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
Adrian says, Ryley, let's collab and bring this to the masses. He was talking earlier about TikTok, and he's already following you on TikTok.
Collab.
And man,
just go back and forth and argue.
I'm not getting the Flashpoint Omnibus because I already have the trade paperback, and I don't like the tie-ins enough for me to warrant getting that Omnibus, the Flashpoint.
I was thinking about getting it but then like kind of the same. I only really care about a couple of the tie-ins, and I'd rather they just release. And I know there's an absolute, but I'd rather there just be an oversized hardcover of the story itself.
Yeah,
I have the whole thing custom bound, so I'm stuck
I
with
like
it.
I like the Batman story, Emperor, Aquaman, the Wonder Woman stuff, the main story, and that's about it. Really, the rest of them they're cool, but that's about it for me.
Here's a real question about Thunderbolts, Ryley.
Oh, that's the one I was looking for.
Would
Yeah.
you include Thunderbolts 76 and 81 in a Thunderbolts Volume 3 omnibus?
It's not Thunderbolts. That's why they get dismissed. Like literally, they were labeled later. Like there's a mini series, Avengers Thunderbolts or whatever it was called, that takes place of those issues. Those issues are a completely different story that has nothing to do with the Thunderbolts. There's literally zero connection with any of the characters to the Thunderbolts. I think most of the characters in there are characters that didn't even exist before that run, and it's not good. Like there's literally zero reason to put it in there. It would just be a waste of space.
So that sounds like a no to me.
Yeah, I don't think that would be this is one of those reasons where like, or one of those instances where like the people who are more completist, I guess, about what's collected in a book, where I would say that opinion on it is not exactly I don't want to say the right opinion. No opinion is wrong, but it's like not the most informed opinion, because you're literally trying to stick material into a book that is unrelated by anything except for the title. But like, since that book was released, like it's just people basically like, no, that doesn't exist. That's not. It would disrupt the flow, because also keep in mind that after Busiek leaves and Nicieza takes over, Nicieza writes it until issue 75, and then he comes back for that miniseries that I was talking about, and then he comes back for the new Thunderbolts where it renumbers, and then he stays on there. So there will probably be 2 whole Omnis worth of material for Nicieza's run. And that material, I don't believe they would put the Arcudi material in there, because it's just so out of place. It's not even a case of like JLA by Morrison missing the issues by Wade, because those issues by Wade are still about the Justice League. You know, it's still the same characters. It's still the same stuff. This is like, you go from a story featuring the Thunderbolts to a series that for some reason does not feature the Thunderbolts at all for 6 issues. And then that story just gets abandoned. So you don't want it.
Okay, let's see. Here's a manga question.
Farhan, thank you for joining. Gio and Ryley, what do you guys think of Hellsing? Is it good? I just got the first hardcover on a random purchase. Well, it's an action-packed story with vampires, ghouls, evil Nazis, a lot of blood, and guns being shot at bad guys. So if you're into all of that stuff and you think that's really wicked awesome, you're gonna have a fun time with Hellsing.
That's fun.
And the art is really good.
And the art is great. Yeah.
I think it's a great time. But I always like to preface with saying that when I read it, I was in high school and I was a lot more easily entertained at the time. So like anything that's just straight up action, I was like, this is genius level shit right here. And there's a lot of good like character work in there too. It's just, I think it's overshadowed by the action aspect of it.
Yeah.
Farhan also is this question for Ryley. Between Uncanny X-Men 1 through 4, which is your fave?
The third one has the strongest material because it has the Wolverine miniseries, God Loves, Man Kills. It has the Magic miniseries, and it has several of the other story arcs. I think it has, what else is in there? I don't remember exactly all the issues, but as far as like the great material that's in each of those books, that book has the most just A+ material. Singularly, I would say like the hierarchy for me is probably like 3, 2, and then 4 and 1 are kind of tied because 4 doesn't have as much material. But
this is what I can add to the show tonight. I can show you the back cover.
4 is a lot smaller with less material, but 1, he takes a bit to get going. Like Claremont's run takes a while to take off before you really get into the ongoing drama. And I'm not the hugest fan of Cockrum's art during that part, though I like Cockrum's art a lot better when he comes back later. Also, 3 has the artwork by Smith in there, and oh man, that art is just phenomenal.
For X-Men?
Yeah, in the 3rd volume.
I haven't read this Magic Storm and Magic. I need to crack this open tonight and read that, because I've just been reading some awesome Magic in my Dawn of X trades. She's been great in it.
Oh man.
Also, before we go, we were asked earlier about what we thought of the Penguin Random House news with Marvel. We could talk a little bit about that.
So I have some concerns about not what this means so much with Marvel in particular, but what this means for pushing into the future about that. So going over to Penguin is going to be a lot easier of a transition than when DC went and had retailers form into their own new distributors, because Penguin is already a huge company. One of the aspects though that might be of concern, and I have no idea, is you have to consider if the retailer discount is going to be the same or different, because for and I'm thinking mostly of like mom and pop shops, like actual local comic shops. Mm-hmm. If the discount is not as good, they're going to be making less profit on their books. I'm talking, the people who sell the single issues and the collections for cover price are not going to be making as much of a profit off of those things. And the reason I get worried about that is not for us. I worry about it for them, because those mom and pop shops are already having a hard enough time as is, like, to stay open for the most part. And there are ones that are very successful, but a lot of them, we've seen a ton of them have to shut down since the pandemic. And this, with DC leaving Diamond, it was hard for a lot of them already, because then you have to completely change a lot of how you do things, because you're thinking about having to make orders with 2 different companies now. You're thinking about having to process the incoming items from 2 companies, so that's going to make that even harder. And then I don't know, like I said, like I don't know what the margins are going to be. So those companies could potentially make, like, those stores could make less money. But the thing that I'm worried about for what I was talking about for the future is, like, what is this going to mean for Diamond? Because Diamond has now lost the 2 biggest accounts that they had.
What does it mean for independent labels, the smaller?
Exactly. Are the independent labels going to start jumping ship? Are we going to see Image move, Dark Horse? Like, what can happen from here? Is, because it was one thing when DC moved, and that was huge. But now for both DC and Marvel to both move away from Diamond, I feel like something is going to shift. Like, something is going to change with Diamond. I don't know if, like, something is going to change with how, because they're not going to be making as much money with losing so much. They're going to be making a lot less money as a distributor. I don't know how big the accounts are for, like, the the manga publishers, like Viz is huge, but I don't know in comparison to Marvel or DC how huge that Viz is. That's something that I don't know. Like, but I think the next step would be seeing other publishers probably jump ship and go to another distributor. I don't know if it's going to be another distributor, or if you're going to see people going to Lunar or going to Penguin. But it's going to, I feel like this is like the second domino in a chain that started with DC leaving. It was all fun and games until we brought up Penguin.
Then it got sad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all fun and games.
Gabrielle, I have read Berserk, the first volume. It was a bet that David Codd got to assign me a book to read in manga to try and get me into manga, and it just wasn't my taste. So I know there's a lot of people that love Berserk, but I just wasn't one of them. Thank you for asking, though. That's very nice of you. And NFL Dude, thank you for telling him that.
Oh, James, my man. Invisible.
I just saw that.
Yeah, episodes 1 through 3 are now at Amazon Prime. I'm going to watch that later.
It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. I'll probably watch that tomorrow. And I'm also going to wind up watching Godzilla.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh my God, there's so much stuff to do tomorrow. I have to work all day too. I've got a lot of work to do.
And 9 hours of TikTok.
And that's a lot of work. I got to make a lot of TikTok videos. I made like,
show us your handle on TikTok so people can follow you.
It's just the Omnibus Collector. I'm gonna show you guys one that has nothing to do with anything. But I like it anyway.
But the song lyric, it took way too long for you to figure out what the actual lyric was. I'll go for it. 1995, TLC's single Waterfalls is topping the Billboard charts from their 1994 album. And I, at that time, was, of course, obsessed with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So the lyric, "Don't go chasing waterfalls," I hear as "Go, go, Jason Waterfalls," which makes absolutely no sense. To make matters worse, a related story, I didn't know any other person in real life or fictionally named Jason. So this was the only Jason in my world that existed. So when a friend of mine was talking about the Friday the 13th movies, I always thought that Jason Voorhees was this Jason under the mask. What's the song lyric?
I always, that song by Van Halen, Panama, I thought at first he was saying padded bra. Padded bra.
It makes
padded bra.
I don't know which one makes less sense, mine or yours. I sent that to my mom also. I was like, did I ever tell you this? And she's like, no. When did you learn? And I was like, way later than I should have. Yeah, I did not know. But yeah, I remember I was like in first grade and we were sitting at lunch in the cafeteria and my friend Chris was like, yeah, and Jason Voorhees, like, he didn't say Voorhees, he just said Jason. He's like, and then Jason's mom is whatever, and Jason takes off his mask, and his mask is like, his face is really messed up. In my head, I see like Jason the Red Ranger taking off his Power Rangers helmet, and he's got like this messed up face, and I'm like, oh no, what happened to him? Why is he mean now? Why is he killing kids?
He's had enough of the fanboys.
Yeah. I didn't know any other Jasons. I found out later that it wasn't the same character, and it just shook me to my core.
Phil Duran says, you're talking about Godzilla vs. Kong? If so, that comes out next week.
Thank God. I have an extra week to...
You're okay then.
Yeah, actually, I'm not okay because I'm like going to be out of town that weekend, so I'm actually driving half of that day, so I don't know when I'll get to watch it because I'm visiting my parents now that we've been vaccinated and all that jazz.
Oh, have you
Finally
got
gonna-
both shots?
I got the first one, and the next one will be like the week thereafter. But my wife has both of them, and I'm like, it's good enough for me. Like, because my parents have one each. I think my mom is going to get her second one at that point. So I was like, yeah, we can go see the family. It'll be for my mom and my sister's birthdays are both around the same time. My sister's is on the 31st, and my mom's is on the 5th of April. So we're just going out there to celebrate with them. And I don't know. So like, we usually would be like, all right, well, we're done eating dinner. Like, who wants to go to the movies? But obviously, we're not going to go to the movies. So probably just be like, who wants to watch Godzilla?
You can make TikTok videos together. So
Is that on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It do be. I was trying to I made one Godzilla TikTok video, and I was trying to show like all of my custom Blu-ray cases because I'm like, I don't know. I'm the only person that will have those on TikTok. Man on the moon, once again.
somebody asked about Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I think that is genius fan casting. Or
I
casting,
also
sorry.
think that is.
Yeah.
I also.
I want to say that it's not just so I can be different from y'all, but I also really like it.
I'm sorry for the Dr. Fate, for the Dr. Damn it. It's late.
Oh,
I can't think.
the current Dr. Fate?
No. Never mind. I don't know what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Hmm.
I haven't seen the Snyder Cut yet, so I can't take part in that conversation in the chat.
I just can't bring myself to sit through 4 hours.
I definitely want to sit through it all at once.
I've seen it twice, and I love it.
Have?
Yeah, more and more. I love that movie. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Excuse me. Sorry. You know, I could say I just don't have the time. But the past 2 days, my wife has been out of the house for like half of the day. And I totally could have put that on and like just watched it while working. And it's not until like right before she's going to come back that I realized that I could have done that. And I'm like, damn it. Like I'm not like that because I'm not like looking forward to being able to watch it or anything, but just to be like, okay, I watched it and I thought it was good or I thought it was bad or whatever the case is. But I'm stupid and instead I just run up here so I can make TikToks about Quicksilver being faster than the Flash.
because of CW Flash.
Yeah. Someone I don't know if it was anyone who's watching or anything, but someone made a comment about like, because people are like, well, the Speed Force is in every universe, and I was like, yeah, in the DC multiverse, and I said I was like, not in the Marvel multiverse, and then someone else popped in and said like, it's a multiversal concept, not an omniversal concept, and I was like,
Damn, that's so nerdy. I love it.
these people have not read Multiversity.
No.
I'm gonna have to like pull that out and just spend like an entire minute. Where did my copy go? I have to spend an entire minute on that. I put it up on the top. There it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull Multiversity out and be like, let me blow y'all's tiny little minds.
Wow.
And show like the map and stuff and explain.
That's one of my favorite books, by the way. I love the concept of
Multiversity.
that so much.
Yeah.
It's
so great.
freaking good.
Yeah. Having
Like-
like a handy guidebook and the map and everything, I love it. I wish they would put more stuff like that out there.
I wouldn't even buy it, but they need to have an absolute Multiversity come out.
Yeah.
Where's there's a map that comes out. Oh wait, no, it's in the thing.
It's a dust jacket.
Yeah, I don't know, show people on the TikTok and be like, this is the multiverse.
There you
This
go.
is
Show
it.
again. There we go. Yep. That's a whole semester of classroom education right there. Understanding all that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, this
where's
would probably be
Marvel in here?
a good time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, they're kind enough to give us a $50 gift credit to InStockTrades.com that we give away to a lucky viewer, and that's happening this coming Monday. $50 or more in an order. That gets you free shipping in the US of A. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Nicely done.
Thank you. That comes from a pro too. I appreciate it.
Okay, watch this. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna.
Are you making a TikTok video right now?
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
I do have one question though. So.
Oh yeah, that's your one question.
Um,
What was your question about Thunderbolts and Spider-Man?
If it's should you buy them, yes.
let me look around to see if I find the question.
I have to find what I wanted to do anyway.
Oh, do you happen to know yet whether the Thunderbolts or Stern Spider-Man Omnis are also shipping already out of stock or out of print from the publisher?
I can find out.
Yay!
That didn't yield what I wanted.
Mr. Awesome, thoughts on the Winter Soldier Falcon Marvel Legends leak? I posted that on our chat, Jess. I don't know if you saw them.
I saw the US agent, and I said I'm not paying money for that guy.
It's so goofy looking.
Oh, like with his squished face.
Yeah, he looks like the grandpa or whatever from Up. I'm not buying that figure. He looks.
I didn't know. I can see that. Oh wow.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find the book on here. Spider-Man. There's so many Spider-Man books coming out.
Yeah, 3 and 5 are coming out.
Can't tell yet about Stern because it's still just listed as upcoming, hasn't shipped. But they haven't. It doesn't have a back order not stocked triangle.
Ryley, did you get the Avengers Gathering Omnibus? I passed since the epics seem to be more comprehensive and would not be eliminating any epics. And I would not be eliminating any epics.
Same answer real quick for Thunderbolts. It doesn't show yet. So I probably next week we'll be able to tell is what I'm going to think. I didn't get the Gathering. I have to be really conservative about which books I'm buying right now. So I honestly, I don't have much Avengers. Like my Avengers starts now with Busick's run. I don't have any of the stuff prior to that anymore. But okay, now I think, God damn it, I thought I found it. Okay, here we go. All right, so here, this is what we do. I'm gonna press video, and this guy says, actually, the Flash can access the Speed Force in any universe. I read about it recently, actually. Okay. Set it to 60 seconds because I talk a lot. So he can access the Speed Force in any universe, but any universe in the DC multiverse. Here's a map of the DC multiverse from Grant Morrison's Multiversity event. And you can see all of the individual Earths of the DC multiverse here. It's all the Earths 1 through 52, Earth Prime, 0, all that stuff. And then you see wrapped around the Earths is the Speed Force wall.
Subscribe to Omnidog's Vault.
So the Speed Force wall is only containing the Earths of the DC multiverse. The Marvel multiverse exists in another part of the, as someone else had commented, another part of the Omniverse, you could call it. And there's
What
that.
Nerd!
That's the nerdiest thing I've seen all day. I love it.
Well, you couldn't hear because I have y'all on the headset. So,
Oh, damn it.
So your plug didn't.
Damn it.
Well, we need to get on TikTok then.
You can plug yourself. That sounded
Omnibus
dirty.
Collectors Network is now coming to TikTok. I don't know about that. I mean, we got our representative. Ryley is representing us. That's enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to get content for my YouTube channel still. I don't have a minute's worth of stuff to say on TikTok. It takes me a minute just to introduce myself on my own YouTube channel.
I need to get more subs on my channel. I can't start worrying about another platform.
So that's how you do it. You get on the TikToks and then you tell them, like, follow me.
Yeah. James already got the link and everything. Nice.
Oh, right here.
Everybody, go follow the Omnibus Collector.
I thought you meant of the one I just made, and I was like, I haven't published it yet.
He's accessing the Speed Force. And he's not telling us. So he went into the future and got it back.
Just come back to the past. Oh, man. Next time, we can talk about my theories about time travel.
Oh.
Let's do it.
That's like a 2-hour conversation.
And don't get Lou involved. Lou's got all kinds of issues with time travel.
That's what I was trying to do is, like, back when I was in college and stuff, I was trying to make my own just definitive way that time travel should work in fiction, and like how you can access going back to the past and stuff like that, and just saying like, this should work, this movie doesn't, that show doesn't, like just going on everything. And I don't remember all of it, but it was a lot of different things about being like, if you're wrapped in tachyon particles, then you could potentially.
Whoa.
I need to like go back and study what I was studying again so I can figure it out.
Which comics are you most looking forward to these upcoming months?
Flash versus Quicksilver.
Let's see. Any TMNT stuff, the hardcovers, whenever those come out. The Godzilla IDW reprints.
Yeah, and those new ones with the miniseries that have been out of print for a while.
Aquaman Deep Dives. That's a collection of short stories plus the Walmart stuff that came out last year. That's getting a trade paperback. Probably finishing out some stuff I own. Like I finally got East of West, the year 3 reprinted.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got that. And there's some other older stuff that I need to finish instead of worrying about new stuff. So, yeah.
That Thunderbolts is definitely up there for me. I'm really excited.
Oh, and I bumped my mic. That is so unprofessional. Next Imaginaut. Yes. Matsumoto's number 5. Everybody needs to buy that. Please.
I'll get it.
That's going to be great.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you know what number 5 is, Jess? Of
Matsumoto?
Yeah.
Something he's not going to be reading.
Oh man, I'm gonna read you the description real quick, and you let me know if let's see if it piques your interest.
All right.
Give me 1 second because my internet is not the best.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, so this is coming out in July. In a world where most of the Earth has become a harsh desert, the Rainbow Council of Peace Corps has a growing crisis on its hand. Number 5, one member of a team of superpowered global security guardians and a top marksman has gone rogue. Now the other guardians have to hunt down number 5 and his mysterious companion, Matryoshka. But why did number 5 turn against the council, and what will it mean for the future of the world?
Ooh, that does sound good.
The art is very Mobius-esque, by the way. So it might be up your alley. Let me show you a picture of that. Oh. And by that, I mean, it's not like your standard manga and all that stuff. Taiyo Matsumoto, you've read Cats of the Louvre.
I haven't read
Just
that.
is the same-
I do have it, but I haven't read it yet. That's the last remaining manga in my collection.
Yeah, it's from the same author, so maybe, fingers crossed, you'll be interested in that.
Yeah, I'm still willing to read, since I own it, Cats of the Louvre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is what I want to read. Swamp Thing Omnibus. That's what I want to read.
Swampnibus.
Swampabus.
Swampnibus.
The one where Charles Soule was not credited on the cover.
Yeah, very odd.
Why? That was...
I didn't notice that until recently. I looked at the cover and I was like, Snyder? Paquette? Size? What? Like, Jesus Size is credited.
Do you think it's because he crossed over to Marvel and they're like being petty?
I don't think
left him
so.
out?
Because he was doing both at that time. Like, he had like 2 series at both publishers at the same time, or 3. I don't know. He was always doing a million books. But it was at DC he had that and Red Lanterns and I think Superman, Wonder Woman. And at the same time over at Marvel he was working on Thunderbolts and I think one other title. I think the Inhumans. He might have been doing some Inhuman stuff. And it wasn't until later, like I think when he took over Daredevil is when he was only working at Marvel at the time. So I don't know. I don't think it would be because of that, but I think they're just getting lazy.
Yeah, they probably forgot, like Marcelo says.
But that's really crappy. But at least if they have to like send a replacement, it won't be a full-on replacement like the Flash. They could just replace the dust jackets if they wanted to. Or not the Flash, the Batgirl. I'm still wondering if they'll do anything about the Flash.
The Flash.
The Flash by Johns Volume 2 didn't have a half issue in it.
Oh.
Not half of an issue, but issue 1/2.
Oh.
Which was just a Wizard magazine like prologue to one of the story arcs.
I ripped the cover off my Superman yesterday, which is apparently controversial.
But it's funny because like I haven't done it yet, but it's funny because like if you just put the thing on it, the dust jacket, it looks pretty good. All right, well I gotta go. It's been a while.
All right.
Where can they find you now on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Wonder Woman's TV show? I don't know where you're appearing. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm definitely not on the CW. That's for sure. Nothing against those shows. I just think it's funny that was the evidence people were providing. The Omnibus Collector on YouTube, not Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and now TikTok. You can watch me from 1-minute bursts where I give you information you probably already know, but these other people don't.
Right on. And Gio, where can we find you? Can we find you on TikTok?
No, I'm on a separate Omniverse. You can find me at A Week in Geekdom, talking about anime, comics, and manga. A Week in Geekdom on YouTube.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, where tomorrow on Batterdays in the Batcave, we will be talking about our favorite new 52 runs at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with Taylor Brown, the Minister of Comics, and myself. And you can find me on Instagram, OmniDogs_Vault, where I posted the box set of The Mandalorian first season on vinyl, and I'm super excited about it.
Awesome.
Well, we already lost Omnibus Collector. Bye.
No, I'm here. Bye, guys.
Oh,
he's moving too fast. He's tapping into
the speed force. Yeah, he's way ahead of us. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to IST, our fabulous sponsor, and we appreciate the people watching this afterwards. Thank you to my current co-host and my past co-host who just clicked off. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you, everybody.